little bit of incentive to build back quicker. And we're going to talk about the overlays as well. I think there needs to be a little bit of FAR adjustment for, especially for smaller properties.
Okay, thank you, Scott. And Jim, what about you?
I concur with what has been said so far. The community, I think, is very clear that they want to keep the floor area ratio and density that is currently in the comp plan intact. And except for some Ian required changes, that the comp plan shouldn't be modified too much.
Thank you, Jim. Jane? Oh, sorry.
I agree. I still think that that leaves a lot open for height because there is no restriction on the height.
In the comp plan, yeah, this is specifically FAR and density. How about you, Jim?
I support keeping the floor area ratio and density levels at the current levels.
Karen?
So I'm a little bit on both sides. Yes, the FAR and density, I think we have a problem with density. If we try to increase it, we don't have the infrastructure to increase it. And kind of brings back what someone said about, if there's any increase in density, it should be on the builder to make it work, but I just don't see that it is here right now. I do also look at certain nodes and small commercial. And when I say small commercial, I'm talking about the build back of small commercial, which right now they can't. So looking at the FAR for that, because of all the FEMA restrictions and that kind of thing, for people who had businesses here before, that makes sense to me.
And Bill?
I agree with the mayor. I think keeping the FAR and density at their current levels.
John?
I'm comfortable keeping FAR and density at the current levels.
Okay, I absolutely want to keep the floor area ratio and the density at its current levels. So what I'd like to ask you, Sarah, Becky, Nancy, whatever staff would like to opine, to put that issue to rest. Would you like the mayor, the LPA's vote, we're advisory, so the council has now heard our positions. Would you like for the mayor to ask for a vote of the council to memorialize that so that issue has been settled, or would you just like us to go to the next one?
I would say that I've heard you. We're going to go back and make any amendments to this. I don't know that there is any necessary reason to make a vote on this. All the language will be coming back to you as LPA members and then you as council members.
How do you feel about that, Dane?
Well, I'd like to ask our town attorney what her opinion is. To me, I think having a vote actually sends a stronger message that this is the voice of the council, current council.
It is a policy decision that you can vote on. And yeah, I agree that if you do take a vote, it will have more of an effect. Among the community members.
Okay. With that, I will ask if there is a motion to keep the FAR and density at the current levels as listed in the comp plan.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We got a motion by Councilor Veach, seconded by Councilor Woodson. Discussion? Councilor King, I'm sorry.
Councilor King.
Sorry.
They're
Okay.
so close.
We moved around. I know.
In size even.
Councilor Woodson, how you have grown.
Jim, you were going to make a comment.
No, I just thought it might be helpful for educational purposes for staff just to lay out what the FAR and density levels currently are, just so people know what we're voting on.
Sarah, would you like to answer that question?
So it varies from future land use district to future land use district. The maximum is in the pedestrian
Commercial on Old San Carlos.
Yes, and the maximum is currently 2.5. However, you cannot get that by right. The zoning districts that exist within that are between 1.8 to 1. and you can request higher levels of FAR through the CPD process, the commercial plan development process. So the highest one is 2.5. The rest of them are in the 1.2, 1.8 range.
And when you say the rest of them, could you just elaborate a little bit on how that works on the island, Sarah?
There are future land use districts that cover the entire island. The most dense one is the pedestrian commercial, which is our downtown area. It extends, I believe, up to here Diamond Head. Within that region, the maximum FAR is 2.5. The remainder of the island, there's a map over there on the wall, and then there's a map at the back. Those are our existing future land use maps. The dark red is,
Well, there's, here, I'm just going to, the zoning districts are residential single family, residential conservation, residential multifamily, commercial resort, commercial marina, commercial office, institutional, community facilities, Bay Beach, downtown, Santini, Village, which is Red Coconut, Commercial Boulevard, and of course CPD. So each one of those has its own, or no,
Not
because of
quite.
because of the overlay.
Yes, so the island is broken up into future land use districts. Then there are zoning districts that are within those future land use districts. There are fewer future land use districts than zoning districts.
Zoning districts.
And the future land use district has broader requirements, and then the zoning districts have more specific requirements. So the future land use district has, for example, in the pedestrian commercial, has a maximum of 2.5. But then within that, we have Santini, which has a maximum FAR of 1, and then we have the downtown, and that is between 1 and 1.8. All of the districts are similarly situated in that the future land use district allows a higher FAR, and then the specific zoning districts within them have a lower FAR. So if you are within a zoning district and you would like to request a higher FAR, then you come to the LPA and the council and you request to do an RPD, which is a residential plan development, or a CPD, a commercial plan development. And through that process, you can request that higher FAR. You also can request changes to the land development codes, such as height, changes in setback, changes